Hello.
Hey, Dimitri. Hey, everybody. Do we have any new faces today that hasn't had a chance to introduce themselves before? Marcos, is this the first time you joined this meeting? Awesome. Welcome. Do you want to give us a quick intro on your interest of Agent Gateway and what scenarios are you looking at? That's how we welcome new members, by the way, not to pick on you. All right. Thank you for that message. Lots of MCP servers. Awesome. That's good to know. Thank you. Welcome to our meeting. I think the biggest news, Nina and John, is KGateway 2.1 is out. What other news you are interested in share?
I would say that's the main one. We have these meetings weekly, so that's only so much time to get some new changes in. But yeah, that's the main one. So if people haven't seen, for now, if you were running Agent Gateway on Kubernetes, you had to run the head not released version of KGateway. So now the official 2.1.0 fully stable release is out with Agent Gateway support. Which is awesome. Now in 2.2 head, we're making a bunch of changes to make it even better as well. So it's definitely a good first step, but there's lots of work to do. One of the changes we have queued up is kind of a redesign of kind of the control plane internals that make it much more efficient. And then I'm doing some benchmarking of, there's kind of the standardized gateway implementation benchmark, and I'm adding Agent Gateway to it, and it is very compelling numbers. We're between 25x and 100x better than other implementations on a lot of these tests, which is quite nice to see. So looking forward to getting that post out, and I'll share it here in the Discord and whatnot when I do.
That's exciting. Thank you. Always love to see your performance reports, John. I think we had Jason. Are you welcome to the meeting? Are you new to Agent Gateway meeting?
Yeah, I just wanted to join and learn more about the product learn more about it.
That's awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any specific questions about the project, do ask.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. We have 2 new members today, so welcome. Any other things related to 2.1 or 2.2 we want to mention? I guess one thing I wasn't sure if it's clear to everybody is 2.1, we just published KGateway 2.1 release notes and release blog. Nina is one of the authors of the blog. She's right here. I believe in that blog was called out is if you're familiar with KGateway project, we had an Envoy-based data plane that also provided many of the AI functionality, and along with Agent Gateway also provides a lot of AI functionality. So as part of the 2.1, we kind of started to announce for the next release, which is what John mentioned, 2.2, we are planning to focus only on Agent Gateway for all the AI functionality. So you will see the Envoy-based one being deprecated in 2.1 release, and going forward to 2.2, and the whole development focus on AI-related activity in KGateway will be just Agent Gateway. Dimitro.
Yeah, I have a question. I was not following so close how the K-gateway can work with Istio actually, and I'm basically interested in the compatibility. Can the K-gateway be a replacement for Istio ingress, like drop-in replacement, or maybe I'm missing something?
Yeah, so with K-Gateway, Agent Gateway can do, obviously, like we have a lot of focus on AI stuff, but it can do all of the, well, I wouldn't say all, but it can do a very large, I would say like 95% of the functionality that you would use for ingress. So things like, rate limiting, just generic HTTP things, transformations, all this sort of stuff, tracing logs, metrics, all this sort of thing. If you are wanting to drop it into into Istio, the thing you'll probably want is to do MTLS from the gateway to your Istio pods. For that right now, you would do put the gateway itself in the mesh, and so you'd have if you're using ambient, like a Z tunnel, that is adding the MTLS for you for traffic leaving the gateway. But otherwise, yeah, it should work and can be dropped in. Now, when you say drop-in replacement, we're not implementing the Istio APIs. So if you're using Istio APIs, obviously you need to migrate them. But same functionality can be achieved, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
I would add, I personally also have tried running Agent Gateway managed by K-Gateway as a MCP gateway to manage multiple MCP servers. And I just put Agent Gateway and also all MCP server in Istio ambient, and it works really great that you can use Kayali dashboard to visualize everything without any change to Agent Gateway or any of the MCP server. So it's very good.
Okay, great.
All right. Does anyone else have any open questions they would like to be answered, or any issues they'd like to bring up? Okay, I saw Marco have a question. Is it possible to authorize A2A agent just like there is MCP authorization for MCP tools?
It's a good question. So one of the things when we were implementing A2A, that's with MCP, it's much more structured, right? You're saying I want to call this tool, and then we can apply policies on those tools. With A2A, it's a bit less structured because the calls are more just like human language queries, like, hey, book me a flight or whatever, right? So I'm curious, what do you want to authorize based on? What in your ideal scenario, what would it look like to authorize A2A agents? Because we may have some of the pieces already, but I just want to make sure I'm not making assumptions on how you would like it to work.
Marco, do you have a microphone?
No, yeah. I'll just say it out loud in case others can see. He's saying I have a main agent depending on the user delegate to XYZ sub agent. Evolve, you want to answer this one? You've done more about in this area than I have.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, just screenshot band. Is that again? So you see or submit? Yes. That's something we're looking at, kind of supporting something like that. I think if you want to use the current set, you could potentially leverage XOS. The catch is that you need to understand who is the agent talking on behalf of. So as long as you have that information in your JOT, agent gateway can assert on it. Trying to not talk too much so I don't steer into the wrong direction of your intent. Is that kind of where you're going with this? Yeah. Yeah, but other than what Agent Gateway does for you, still need a separate mechanism to issue those JOTs, right? Because Agent Gateway can validate them, and it can do pretty, robust validations with Cell, but you will need a way to issue them.
But question, does it mean if you don't have access to specific sub-agent, you will not also have access to the agent card? I mean, it's not clear to me if you are trying to authorize and restrict, if agent already cannot get sub-agent card, right, it cannot continue because it will not see the skills and description.
Are you asking if we can exclude agent card from the
I mean, yeah, in the authorization that we are discussing, is agent card is always available, or agent card is also restricted by the same authorization? Because
it's really up to you. You can do it both ways.
I've seen in some community discussions, it was like a very controversial view, because in some cases you don't even want the external tools to see what your agent could do, and then
so before, remember, Agent Gateway is first it's an A2A gateway, but it's also an HTTP gateway, right? So you can do classic HTTP auth policies, right? So saying if this is the agent card, bypass the A2A mechanism and go straight and get it, for example. So you have a lot of flexibility in this regard.
And Marco asked, just excluding the card is okay. I assume that's limited because people can still use the tools if you just exclude the card, if they figure out what tools to call.
I think the idea, if you exclude the card, and basically the agent which is using this sub-agent, it cannot even know what the capability is, so it will not use it, right? So it's kind of you hide it.
I mean, it's security by obscurity, which is generally not a good practice, but you can do that if you want to.
Right. Okay, but by the way, question in regarding A2A, do we have a retry policies there? If let's say I will put this gateway in between, and let's say my sub-agent call was failed due to some timeout, right? Do you have some retry policies in this case where it will retry this sub-agent call and it will actually reprocess all the flow?
We have it at the HTTP level, so a single individual call could be retried. There's no like broader level retry policy currently. Not sure there's the one needed, but I could just also not be fully understanding the use. So
okay.
Dimitri, are you looking at using Agent Gateway with the agent, the multi-agent flow system you are using, or for some other purpose?
Yeah, I started to look in this more closely on the multi-agent when you have sequential, parallel, and so on and so on. And it's basically if you increase number of agents working together, you automatically increase the chance for failure, and
Mhm.
you would need to have a retry mechanism and some kind of durability and things like that. And in that sense, if you build everything which is built on HTTP request level, then actually the root agent starting the request and then everything else is just one big request, right? Going through
Yeah.
the many levels, which is not really something that can run in production long time under the load. And I think this retry policies and things like that would be required, or there will be probably need to do it differently. Like I'm looking currently in context of K-agent in some different execution engine.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks for sharing your scenario. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions or any discussion topics?
Hello. Here's David. Just to follow up, last week I tried to troubleshoot what's going on with Agent Gateway and N8N. I provide some logs and I will continue doing that, but it's not working. You can't connect something from N8N using Agent Gateway. I don't know if this is something that you have tried. I'm not sure if this is a problem with N8N, maybe a limitation or a bug on the MCP client tool they use, but definitely it's not working.
I don't know if this is going to be helpful for you at all, but so I was looking at the Discord channel and I saw some of your posts, but I've had a lot of difficulty with the playground as well, and it's just not working. So maybe try with your actual like command line agent tool, like Cloud Code, before you dismiss all your efforts. I'm not sure why the UI has so much difficulty, but just an idea. The playground specifically.
Okay, I think I understood. There was a lot of background noise. Yeah, the thing that I have to do is pretty simple, right? I have a MCP server exposing an HTTP HTML endpoint. I want to put Agent Gateway up front of it, and later establish a MCP connection from N8 and workflow. That doesn't work.
Have you seen any errors like course errors? Because that's typically the first thing.
That is what I'm trying to focus now. But
the playground itself had the course issues at the beginning. I think some headers when I was testing as well, like playground to MCP, I was getting some errors, but by adding these additional headers in the config, it's fixed the problem. Maybe N8N also has the same issue.
I'm focusing right now on that, trying to see if this is a course thing. So far, no luck. But I will continue trying.
It sounds like if I hear Isaac correctly, he's recommending if you have an agent or some other client to try, he definitely recommends you to try because there may be some issue with the MCP playground. That's
yeah. I tried the MCP inspector and that works fine. I tried the Visual Studio Code that has integration with the MCP servers, and I put Agent Gateway in the middle and works. This is something
self-hosted or cloud. Which version you're using?
Of N8N?
Yes.
Right now, I'm trying the cloud version, but I am about to download the thing and trying locally because I don't see any logs. That's one of the problems with the cloud, right? I don't have much information on
and the cloud version connected to the public endpoint, which is open as well, because or
Yes,
Is it like a
no. I'm opening a dev tunnel.
okay.
And the endpoint is. I'm always using that dev tunnels, and
And
this is
Dev tunnel has a certificate which is valid externally, properly public.
works.
Because
Yes. If I use the dev tunnel to connect directly to the MCP server, it works. N8N dev tunnel MCP server works.
Okay.
N8N dev tunnel agent gateway MCP server, it fails. I believe something happened on the MCP client tool of N8N. I think that they are not sending all the headers that they supposed to send, and for some reason that breaks something in agent gateway. But it's a kind of a hypothesis. I don't know. I will continue trying.
So just make sure we understand the issue. The issue is from the N8N MCP client connection to N8N MCP server through agent gateway. If agent
Correct.
gateway are not in the middle, then you don't have this problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And your tunnel is doing TLS termination itself, or it's terminated on which side?
No, I believe it is in the dev tunnel that does the termination of TLS. I opened that tunnel and I don't see any certification issue or something like that. So I believe that's not the problem. Indeed, I see the logs. I see the logs in agent gateway. I see the logs in the MCP server. It's replying, but only the first post. After that, nothing happened. So if I try to connect directly to the MCP server, I see like, I don't know, 3 or 4 interactions, right? It's connecting, creating the session, listing the tools, more or less like that. But when I put agent gateway in the middle, I just see the first one. The other ones, there's anywhere else. But that is because the MCP client on the N8N crashes for some reason. But I don't know why. So I will install and run locally N8N, and I will try to see the logs.
Okay, Jason also asked an interesting question. Is the setup stateful or stateless?
I tried both. I tried with SSA. I tried with HTTP streamable. I tried many things at this point. So well, I will continue doing this because this is something I need to have, or I need some kind of gateway between N8N and our infrastructure. So I will continue trying.
Okay, so if you isolate the issue to be agent gateway, do write up an issue in our GitHub repo, because we would love to help you through too. But if it's the N8N client issue, it sounds like the client was crashing, so you're not sure yet. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I may. I try to find information on the N8N community. So far, nobody has any problem related with an agent gateway. I don't know if someone has tried that, but there's no report or something like this. So yeah, when I see the reason why the MCP client of the N8N crashes, I will let you know, and may I open some kind of issue in some GitHub repository. I don't know. We will see. I will continue sending information through the Discord channel.
Yeah, thank you.
And which tunnel you're using for that?
The tunnel, the Microsoft one, the one that you use. I have in a .NET Aspire project locally that have the agent gateway and the MCP server, and one of the resources I can use is dev tunnel, and the dev tunnel opens a URL public that I'm using to configure N8N MCP client tool.
Okay, because maybe if you would try like some different tunnels.
I don't think this is a tunnel because
Yeah.
if with the Visual Studio Code, it works. And with the MCP inspector tool, it also works.
Hmm.
So but there must be something in the client on the N8N or something that the N8N client is not sending, or when it receives something, it crashes. But well, if nobody faces something like this, I will continue troubleshooting.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, John said he'll also try it out too. So
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much, David, for bringing that up.
No, you're welcome.
All
Thank
right.
you guys for listening to me.
Yes, I really appreciate people jumping in, like Isaac, Dimitro, and Jason all send out useful tips. And Jason actually sent out this MCP advanced topic course. I'm actually interested in myself too. So thank you all for helping out and troubleshooting. And yeah, thank you everybody for participating. See you next week.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.